Welcome to the Fifth and Goal Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Aaron, Josh, and Johnny.
Welcome to the show, listeners, viewers. Thanks for being here. An unprecedented show.
Miracle.
You could say tonight. Josh apparently says it's a miracle. And I think the miracle is that Johnny is no longer dead.
Resurrection.
Johnny, welcome back.
I still feel like I may be halfway there, though. With the time
Resurrection's the
change.
process.
It's not always instant. Yeah.
Well, you mean you've seen Princess Bride? Like, he resurrected that guy, but it was like took, I think, like a good 20 minutes of movie time.
That's true. Johnny, we didn't really say where you were. We just said dead because that is the treatment that one receives when they're not here. How was your week? Like, our weeks, whatever happened in our weeks doesn't really matter because you were you're across the pond, as they say.
Yeah, I was across the pond having lots of beans and toast, trying to drive on the opposite side of the road in between hedgerows that, these roads are... I had a local Welsh lady at the inn we were staying at, and all of that's absolutely correct too. It's not me dramatizing it. They basically said they built these roads so that a horse-drawn carriage going one direction could pass one going the other way. And when they invented cars, they basically put asphalt over top of that and said, all right, cars, find a way through.
Deal with it.
Yeah, the roads over there are the nuisance, not the hedgerows and the stone walls and the sheep. And honestly, as it should be.
Yes.
And I did hear, because you texted us, that you got some good Premier League experience while you were there.
Oh, it was excellent. So, I mean, you were watching the Premier League over here, and it's always early morning. Best case scenario, it's like 3:00, like Arsenal playing today in the afternoon. But most of the time, it's early morning weekend or something like that. So every single place we stayed in the countryside also had a pub in it. So and pub meaning the actual pub, yes, it serves drinks. It also, that's where you were eating that evening because there's not a million restaurants just across the countryside. You're pretty much eating wherever you're staying. And of course, they had Tottenham on in that game. So I got to watch the end of that match because we finished our drive up the Welsh coast that day. And I got to sit with some Tottenham fans watching the game, which was pretty amazing.
How did you, give us a firsthand experience.
They were doing okay until there was a VAR review in the box and a penalty kick was awarded. And so they ended with a 1-1 draw, which was not the worst thing in the world, especially if you've kept up with it. West Ham has not been able to do anything. So Tottenham's up 2 points currently. And if Tottenham is able to just get 1 point, one measly point in their last two matches, one of them being tomorrow, Tuesday, they will survive relegation because goal differential, they're way ahead of West Ham. They'll be good to go. So the dream still lives, but it's on life support right now.
Yeah, well, at least someone's dream still lives. We'll get into this. Because I said that this is an unprecedented show at the beginning, and I mean it because just to give you a preview of what we're talking about today as we dive into things, NBA, there happened to be a Game 7. I've been told that I'm legally obligated to talk about it, so we will. There's a Game 7 in the NHL happening tonight. We will talk about that. Picks of the week. We are tied in the season finale, which is what you're listening to right now. We have to break the tie to declare a winner, and I think the winner just gets a baseball food of their choice. So there's a lot on the line. And then I've got a spiel on college football for what we're following, among other things. So that's what's on the show tonight. Game 7. Again, I've been told I'm legally obligated to talk about this. Johnny, your Cavaliers and my Detroit Pistons faced off in a Game 7. I'll let you have the floor first and talk about it. I don't know what part of sleep deprivation you were in when you were watching this game last night. But I'll let you, the positive, happy Cavs fan, talk about it, and then I can rain on everyone's parade with my Detroit Pistons depression.
Well, first off, I was very glad that it was not some insane game, given the tip wasn't absurdly late. So I was going to be able to fight my way through it. But I was very happy to have, after, even when things go as they should while you're flying, whenever you're crossing an ocean, it's a long day. So yeah. I was very happy that the game itself was not stressful whatsoever. I poo-pooed the Cavs, after the James Harden trade, and I'm really not backing off of that at all. The only reason the Cavs won this series was because Donovan Mitchell decided to take over and make it his team again. But I was talking with another Pistons fan, actually, not Aaron, and I said before the series, I said, it will be decided based on whether Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are able to, at minimum, break even in the paint. And they more than did that, especially in the critical moments of the game. Jared Allen was fantastic down the stretch of this series. Evan Mobley did his thing. He's able to spread the floor. And because they're able to do that, and then Donovan Mitchell stopped waiting for James Harden to do his thing, which never happened, Sam Merrill is able to have hit the proper space to start hitting threes. And you saw all of that just go berserk all together. Aaron and I talked about the series beforehand. I said there'd be a game where the Cavs just lost their minds from distance. I don't know if that necessarily happened where they collectively as a team did that, but certainly they had players in moments in this series do that. So, I mean, I've been very critical of Jared Allen in the past. I can't really say enough about how well he played in this series. With the way the Pistons typically play defense, he was outstanding. He's not normally this 20-point-a-game scorer, and he was phenomenal. I think, I'll just very quickly, voice of reason, because Aaron's going to be a sad Pistons fan, as he should be. I think if you would have said before the season started to any Pistons fan, hey, you made it to Game 7 in the second round of the playoffs, you won, Aaron, what'd they win? Over 60 games this year.
60 exactly. Yeah.
60 exactly. I think most Pistons fans would say, all right, another step. Is that great? No. But I think any team that is reliant on Tobias Harris to be their second leading scorer consistently, it's going to look like what these playoffs did. A big roller coaster offensively. And the Pistons have two of their starters who are really, really young, talented players, but they're both offensive liabilities right now. That doesn't mean they always will be, but right now, Thompson and Duren many times are offensive liabilities, and that has got to change. Those guys have got to figure out how to be a little bit more integrated into their offense in a consistent manner for Detroit to kind of take the next step. But the shocking thing for me in Game 7 was Detroit and Van Gundy said it on the broadcast, they were just getting cooked defensively. And that's not something that really was happening in the series until then. And those guys specifically, you can't afford to be bad on defense because your offensive game is so inconsistent. You've got to be able to do what you're supposed to do well. And they're just not a team. I know they've made big comebacks this season, but it's all been fueled by their defense. So they're not necessarily a team made to come back from down 20 points.
Short of the Orlando Magic missing every shot they've ever taken. Right,
correct. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with any of that. And the funny thing is, I mean, it's not funny to me, but, that Jalen Duren was offensively fantastic this year in the regular season, 20 points, 10 rebounds a game, extremely high field goal percentage for the second year in a row. I think actually in the previous season, I think Jared Allen was number 1 and Jalen Duren was number 2, if I remember correctly. And that just did not translate at all in the postseason. And a lot of that was, I think he was just matched up against, you're right, you said it, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley were fantastic, especially Mobley, I thought in Game 7. He's just the X factor. Because I think Allen, if he's healthy, you kind of know what you're getting from him. But what are you getting from Evan Mobley? And I thought he was great. So there's a lot of talk okay, Jalen Duren, what was this postseason? Because it wasn't just this series. It wasn't just Game 7. It was all 14 games of the postseason. Kind of where were you? And I think that's a legitimate frustration to have. And I'm trying to be I'm trying to give myself the voice of reason too, Johnny, because he's 22 years old.
Right.
Like, theoretically, this man is not going to hit his prime for another 6 years. So hopefully this ends up being a good experience in the long run. You're right. Okay, it's one more step than last year. I think where I'd push back a little bit is if you told me at the beginning of the year, Pistons win a series, get bounced game 7 second round, I'd be like, okay, I can live with that. But the key thing though is if you also tell me the Pistons won 60 games in the regular season, I would be like, oh, okay, so what happened here? And that's kind of where I'm at. Not that the Cavs didn't deserve it, because they were the better team. It's weird, Pistons fans are going to have a really bad memory of Game 7 because it was just 48 minutes of just bad. But where this series was kind of lost was Game 5, when you were up 9 points and you went scoreless in the last 3 minutes of regulation. I think if the Pistons win that, I feel very confident that they would get either Game 6 or 7. Now, the way it turned out, I thought the Pistons were going to lose Game 6. They blew out the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
It was a very strange series.
And then I was like, okay, I think we might win this. And then they get blown out, don't even show up in Game 7. I do think the Pistons were worn out. I mean, Tobias Harris kind of disappeared on offense the last 2 or 3 games, which, and I say that, yes, the Cavs and the Pistons played the same number of postseason games. I think the difference is that the Pistons played 5 elimination games, and of course the Cavs just 2, with both Game 7s of that series.
And Cavs don't lose Game 7s either.
Yeah, well, you're right. What's that? 6 in a row?
7 now, I believe.
7 in a row. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's the second longest streak ever.
Yeah, that's amazing. Something that Kenny Atkinson, head coach of the Cavs, said after the game last night, as we're recording, which I thought was just fascinating, was he basically said to crack the Pistons defense, they basically figured out where Asar Thompson was on defense and just said, if you have the ball and he's over there, get rid of it. Or if he's over there, don't pass it that direction. Just avoid him at all costs, which, number one, is the ultimate compliment, because short of, Victor Wembanyama, just the alien, Asar Thompson probably would be Defensive Player of the Year and may be up in the running, should be up in the running for that for several years to come. But yeah, it's the same issue though. The Cavs avoided his side of the court on defense. The problem is that the Pistons kind of had to avoid his side of the court on offense. And I don't know how much he's able to do this offseason to change that. And in a lot of ways, I thought his defense more than made up for his offense. But when there's other players struggling, that you're right. It was going to be tough sledding when we were down 20 or 18 at halftime. I was like, this is probably not going to go well. And a, bank half court 3 from Donovan Mitchell certainly did not help with that.
Yeah.
So mixed emotions for me, thinking about where we started. We were number 1 in the East for a long time this season. This was truly the best regular season in a long, long time for Detroit. I think the foundation's there. I do think you're going to have to find a number 2 reliable scorer for Cade. And you know what? It should just be Jalen Duren. And I hope it's as simple as that. Because he was that way for the regular season, and there's a reason why they won 60 games. You need more 3-point shooting. Hello, Luke Kennard, please come back to Detroit. So we'll see. I mean, I've heard people saying Lauri Markkanen's an option. We'll get into the off-season discussions when it's time. But disappointed. But
they need tweaks, though, Aaron. I think that's the big thing. Right now, it's easy to be emotional. Like you said, Duren's very young. This is a young team in general still. I know fans hate hearing that. I understand. But the worst thing you can do right now is freak out and panic when these guys are also just going to get better over time. Yeah. They are. They're going to get better over time. You don't need mass trades, anything like that. You just need some tweaks. You need a little bit more shooting from the outside. But that number 2 scorer, that is potentially a trade opportunity that you might have to do, especially if you're looking for a wing to be able to do it. Because I don't think that person is on the roster, actually.
I would agree.
Especially because I don't think Tobias Harris is consistent enough. And, he's on the back end.
He may not even be back.
And he's on the back end of his career as well anyway.
Yep.
So.
And now he was tremendous. Without him, we're not even talking about a Game 7 here, because
you don't get past the Magic.
Would have lost to Orlando.
Yeah.
So he was unbelievable. So nothing but love for Tobias, even and which is wild to say about a player in the playoffs, considering how Philly fans have felt about him in the past. You're right. Donovan Mitchell was awesome. And James Harden was his usual Game 7 James Harden. But you know what? It didn't matter because Donovan Mitchell said, this is my game. I'm taking it straight to the cup. You can either send 3 defenders at me and I'll pass for an open 3, or I'll just lane in over a bunch of players. So, I'm happy for the Cavs. And I texted you after the game, Johnny. I'm like, all right, Cavs, go win this thing. Please take out New York. And then you can run into whatever buzzsaw is awaiting whichever East matter. Team. That's the question.
It does
it matter who comes out of the East?
No, it doesn't matter unless there's an injury, which is always the caveat. Unfortunately in the NBA, it feels like that's really not ever out of the realm of possibility. It feels like 50% of the time there's some sort of injury that has an effect on the NBA Finals. I'm not trying to speak that into existence, of course. I'm just really talking pragmatically. That typically is what happens. I do actually, maybe other people disagree with me. Maybe you guys disagree with me. I actually think this is to the Cavs' benefit in a weird way that this went 7. I know those are 2 long series in a row, but New York was the hottest team in the entire league coming off that second round matchup. And they've had time to cool off. Yeah. So I think the Cavs actually have a really good opportunity to steal Game 1. I think that is a chance to set the tone for the entire series. Cavs take Game 1. They have a really good chance of beating the Knicks in this series. They don't win Game 1. I'm not panicking, but there's no way the Cavs win it in any fewer than 7 really at that point. In my mind. So I think they have a decent chance to beat the Knicks. The Knicks deserve to be favored. They're the higher seed, of course. Cavs beating Detroit makes this not a disaster of a season. And I think that's also the difference between Detroit and Cleveland, where Cleveland's already mortgaged everything on the current constructed roster. Detroit is not. So the Cavs had to win that series, really, to at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, to make it seem worth it. They have the proper players to beat New York. I don't think anybody's going to be shocked or stunned if the Cavs do win. I think the Knicks. But yeah, I can't wait for the Spurs Thunder. Unfortunately, it feels kind of like the NFC, AFC title games this last, NFL playoff season where, the NFC just, we kind of knew whoever won between the Rams and Seahawks, that's the best team after Bo Nix got hurt for Denver. We just knew the Patriots or Jared Stidham leading the Broncos weren't going to be good enough against either of those teams. And in a 7-game series, I have a really difficult time seeing the Cavs or Knicks beating the Thunder or Spurs. Now, who has the better opportunity, I think does depend on the matchup. I do think the Cavs would have a better chance against the Spurs. Not a good chance, mind you. That's not what I'm saying. I just think Mobley and Allen have a better chance against Wembanyama than anybody that the Knicks have on the roster, even really. So I think these are both going to be long series. They're going to be both very different series. I like the Spurs, though, to beat the Thunder. I had that at the beginning of the playoffs. I'll stick with it. They are one of the very few teams that has been able to cause the Thunder any sorts of problems. But that said, unfortunately, in that series, one of the key contributors to the outcome, and it will be a main storyline, will be the officials and how they decide to call Wembanyama, Holmgren, and of course SGA. I hate that that's a main talking point going into it, but based on what's happened in the playoffs so far, it has to be.
My favorite part of, maybe not my favorite part, but maybe the funniest part of the Cavs Pistons series was in Game 6 when James Harden flops and then lands. They don't wipe the floor. Next possession, Dean Wade slips, falls, Tobias Harris, run out, dunk, game over. Anyways, Josh, I think if I remember correctly, you picked San Antonio to at least make the NBA Finals. Are you sticking with them? Or do you think the Thunder get them?
I got to wait for Shams to leak the winner. I'll make my decision then.
Oh man.
Hey, by the way, could we grow up a little bit with the
It depends.
Here's the context for those of you who
Okay.
don't understand the joke. Sunday morning, when did he tweet this? It doesn't matter. I was probably plugging a cable into another cable, realizing that it was the same cable I just plugged end to end. It's early. I don't know how to think when it's early in the morning. Shams gets who's a reporter, does stuff with the NBA, all the good stuff. He tweets out, "Oh my goodness, we have an MVP."
Wow.
And it's the Thunder Zone SGA. Ironically, Aaron, that TikTok that I sent you a few weeks ago became even more relevant.
Yeah.
Literally in the past 2 days.
Yep.
Now, why would anybody care that a very heavy favorite for the regular season MVP would get said MVP? Well, that night, this Game 7 we've been talking about, Amazon Prime and NBA on Prime had the rights to announce it officially on their own platform. But because the news had already been broken hours earlier by Shams, there was really nothing to announce.
Hey, do better with your
They
leaks,
just hit the
man.
retweet button is all
Yeah.
they did.
Do better
Yeah.
with your leaks. Somebody
This
had to
is-
tell
if this is
Shams,
important-
like, don't have leaks.
If you listen to like Mark Hamill talking about the big twist in The Empire Strikes Back, I won't say what it is. It's been out for a while, but I don't want.
Wait, there's a
heat.
twist?
That's what I've been told.
Oh, okay. I'll have to watch that movie.
You'll have to watch the movie. When the twist
Yeah.
happens, you go, "Oh my gosh!" When the line was recorded, I think it was the lead. I forget his name, but the lead scriptwriter hands a new copy of just one page of the script with the line. I believe the original line was, "No, Luke." I forget what the specific line was. It was something along the lines of like, "Your father joined me," or something along those lines. He gets a new page with the twist, and the scriptwriter says to Mark, I know this. George Lucas knows this. If anybody else knows, we will know who leaked it." Harrison Ford did not know until the premiere.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
And so it
That's
was only the people.
Amazing.
It was the editor. It was anybody doing like, obviously like test screenings and stuff. But after that, I mean, even then it was kept so tight. And we joke about the twist. It's a pretty famous twist. There's they kept that tighter than Fort Knox. There are ways, and I realize that was analog days. It still doesn't matter. Leaks have been eternal. If you want to keep SGA's, if Amazon is willing to pay for exclusive like broadcasts of that, you got to do a better job at. It's so much easier to let like one person know. And I'm speaking as someone who does not I don't know enough about broadcasting to know how many hands that has to change, because you have to have a graphics guy. You have to have.
No, it should just be
you
the
have to go
graphics
test
guy. Only the graphics guy should go.
Agreed. Yep.
Only
And
the graphics guy.
He goes into a locked room, locked from the outside, and he's not given a phone. He is given a very limited access to Teams, meaning just the chat function.
Oh.
And at like
This is a dungeon.
I don't know. At
Teams?
at like 9:15, it tipped off at 8 Eastern, right?
This game, yes.
Yeah.
It actually
So-
tipped off at 8:15. They told everyone 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Jail.
Weird.
Classic.
Jail.
That's never happened before.
Yeah.
So at 9:15, he gets one Teams message, and it is a picture of SGA and the knowledge that he is MVP. and you get to make that graphic real quick.
Yep.
So he also has to have a copy of like Photoshop or something. I don't know what you guys use. Canva. He gets to use Canva.
Yeah.
All of that stuff can just be made beforehand with all the top people, though.
Yep.
Like,
it's been an email.
Yeah, the CEO.
It's between like 3 people. Put the package together for all 3 guys and have it
Jeff
there.
Bezos and Adam Silver collaborating on making a graphic in Canva.
You definitely don't want that, Josh.
Yes,
Sounds
I can
awful.
promise you don't want that.
No, I truly do.
Shout out to Amazon Prime, because I think their crew, like play-by-play announcers, color commentary, and then the studio, I think they do such a good job. Now, I'm a little bit biased towards Steve Nash because he was one of my favorite players growing up. But like him and Dirk and Udonis and Blake Griffin, like that whole crew is just awesome. Like I think it's a perfect mix. They've hit the perfect mix to me of like fun personalities, players who are stars, who also give really good insights. And it's fun. It's entertaining. Like I love Inside the NBA. It's fun. It's entertaining. I'm not really getting a lot of ball knowledge from them. Like I'm there to watch Shaq try to resuscitate a stuffed hawk when Atlanta's down 50 in the second quarter. That's what I'm there to see Inside the NBA for. But I stuck around like mostly because I was just in my feels when the Pistons lost, and I listened to some of their coverage at the end, and they were kind of breaking down like the Pistons season and this series, and it was just good. It's just really, really solid. So I'm glad that the NBA has branched out from just ESPN and TNT. There's more people involved. Let this be a lesson to you all, sports media, that the more people you get, there's competition. That, and like even ESPN's had to step up their game a little bit this year. And I think they have. So like that, yeah, let that be a lesson to you all, that the more people that have a shot at broadcasting something usually means good, unless you have to pay for 20 different streaming platforms, which unfortunately is the case as well. But I digress. So that is the NBA. We will talk more. Actually, we will not talk next week because this is our season finale. We're taking a couple weeks off. But when we rejoin you, I think we'll still have the NBA Finals happening. So we'll catch you up on all that. Not that you need caught up, because you all, if you're listening to this, are probably watching those games anyways. NHL, Montreal, Buffalo, Game 7 tonight as we're recording on Monday, May 18th. So that's exciting. Winner faces the Carolina Hurricanes. We talked a little bit about the rust factor. At least in the second round, Carolina Hurricanes, no rust because they swept Philadelphia real quick. So the Hurricanes are 8-0. The Colorado Avalanche are 8-1. The top seeds are dominating so far. Vegas, Colorado. That series starts on Wednesday. My two teams, unlike the NBA, are, in terms of my picks, are still alive. We'll cover that all in a little bit. Any NHL thoughts, guys? Any, like, have you changed your mind on this? Like, team you like, team you don't like?
Josh, our Sabres are in trouble tonight. We need them to break through.
I was, whatever I said previously in a previous episode, I disavow immediately once the episode stops airing.
Especially if you could be wrong. That's a wise strategy.
I have no clue what I said. I was in grief, Johnny.
I think you had Buffalo winning the thing. I had Buffalo in the finals against Colorado.
Do you know how many cells in my body have died and have completely been remade since that like month and a half?
Josh, you'd be a good attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Again, like I said, both my teams are still in, so I'm sitting pretty. A lot of points up for grabs in the next season. But most importantly, we have a tie to break in picks of the week. So let's get to it.
Sometimes the guys make picks based on their vast knowledge of sports. Sometimes they make picks based on vibes.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Maryland takes down Florida.
Chop this one up for the Gators. Chop a national championship for Florida.
Either way, they're probably going to be wrong. It's time for Picks of the Week.
Unprecedented times on this podcast. If you've listened for a long time, first of all, thank you. But second of all, you know that sometimes there's a runaway winner of Picks of the Week within the first few weeks of a season. And that has not been the case this season. It's been close throughout. And thank you, Washington Mystics.
So
defeating
close.
the Indiana Fever. Johnny would have won it. If
Yeah,
the
it was
Fever
over.
would beat
Absolutely.
Washington, this thing would be over. Johnny would be sitting, well, hopefully not at Great American because he curses the Reds when he's there, but at any other of the
Apparently,
29
I curse them when I
ballparks,
go far away too.
they are cursed. That's the real answer.
I'm
But-
supposed to be mid far away from them. Like clearly, Europe's too far.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're welcome to go to any of the other 29 ballparks and a food of your choice is what you would have had the Fever defeated the Mystics, but they did not. It was a close game, but the Mystics come out on top. By the way, the Portland Fire continuing to sell out, and they got their first win as a WNBA franchise, or at least the rebooted version, so good for them. We talked about the WNBA a little bit last week, if you missed it. Premier League picks, we made those a couple weeks ago. We talked about that already a little bit. Tottenham may survive. Arsenal trying to hang on. We talked NBA. We talked NHL. So there's a lot of picks that have been made that will wrap up here in the next few weeks. All of those points will start season 6 with a bang. Hopefully, because hopefully someone has scored. So how does one break a 3-way tie where Johnny has 12 points, Josh has 12, and I have 12? Well, it's college baseball o'clock. The SEC baseball tournament is here. It's always a great time. You've got, because obviously the Big Ten won football, they won the basketball championship. So SEC baseball conference. We've known this. They're very good. Just look at the past championships. So, they may not have basketball, they may not have football, but boy, do they have baseball. So we're picking it. Usually, whoever just gets in the show notes first, which is usually Johnny because he's kind enough to write them for us, just jots down a team. We go about our merry way. Everyone's happy. Check mark. We're good. But there's a lot on the line tonight. So it's very important to see who goes first in picks of the week. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I have here. I'll describe it for the podcast people. I have a wheel that has our 3 names on it. This is not rigged in any way. You can see that there's advertisements popping up from this free website I'm using to make this wheel. So I'm going to spin the wheel, and whoever's name is selected gets to pick first. Not only do they get to pick first, they get to decide who picks second.
Oh.
So we're really upping the stakes here. So I'm going to tap, and this wheel is spinning. And I didn't.
What
do this
color
beforehand,
am
so
I?
I don't know. Uh-oh.
You're blue.
And I'm red.
Rigged.
I was
Fake.
kind of hoping. Yep. Producer Chris is saying that I just hit play on the video.
Yeah, that's wow.
I was a little worried that was going to happen because now everyone thinks that this is rigged.
Remember
And
that,
I understand why.
Remember that episode of The Office where Scott's Tots?
All right.
Do you remember Scott's
Yep, I
Tots?
do here.
You know what
Ready?
the B story was?
That was a practice
Jim
one to see if this thing works. If it lands on me again, then
Oh, it's going to land on you again, I swear.
Johnny? Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
that
won the
was
practice
close.
one, but Johnny, you win the real one. So
I'll just stay with Texas. I do
Okay.
have a question, though. I mean, the Premier
Yes.
League does end on Sunday. Is that still for next season?
that's a good question because I think this tournament ends like on Saturday. I think because there are so many points up in the air, I think we need a definitive this team
Okay,
wins
that's
the
fair.
tournament.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Someone wins picks of the week.
We have overlap
So you're
also
going
in
with
Premier League.
Texas. Johnny, Texas currently in the SEC standings. They are 40-12 overall. They've won their last 4. They're second. They're the 2 seed in the SEC tournament. I should also mention real quick that this format has changed as of the last couple of years with the addition of Texas and Oklahoma. It's just a single elimination bracket. A lot of times you'll see double elimination brackets. Or at least for sections of the tournament. That's the way the SEC tournament was for a while. It's not anymore. So 1 loss, you're out. So good selection by you. Johnny, who would you like to pick next?
Go ahead, Josh.
Okay. I went with the choice that I'm going to regret because
Yes,
it's
you
going to
are.
go bad for me either way. But I have been around. First off, when in doubt, go with whoever's closest to you geographically. This
Okay.
helped me. This helped me with the Holy War. If you remember.
No.
Yeah, I picked. I believe. Was it the Utah upset?
Oh, okay.
Because it is just like 45 minutes closer to me.
Can't be a whole lot different.
But it was, and it worked.
And it worked. Okay. All right.
What happens if we're all wrong?
Oh, I have a thought on that.
Okay.
So if we're all wrong, because I'll say my pick too, you guys have gifted me the 1 seed in this tournament if I want it.
I was going to say,
Mhm.
we're all
Well,
actually, I think
haven't
we're
said
all
yet.
getting
A&M,
who we
yeah.
want actually here still.
I think so. Yeah, Josh, you finish, and then I'll
Yeah,
explain
A&M,
the potential scenario where we all
because-
get wrong.
If I'm right, I've created a justification for the cult around me. And if I lose, I don't get a cool bucket of nachos or whatever. The 128 ounce bucket of nachos from the Diamondbacks.
Correct.
I want that ordered and then postmated to me if I win.
I was about to say travel not included in this prize. A&M is your pick, Josh.
Yes, A&M,
Johnny,
sorry.
you've got Texas.
Texas.
I have the 1 seed available if I want it, but do I? While you all ponder that question, we've asked another question. What happens if all 3 of us get this wrong, which is an extremely high possibility?
Yes.
Here's my thought. So we've referenced this individual, hopefully every episode, to give him some credit. But Chris has been editing and producing the show this season, which has been unbelievable. If you've seen that episodes have come out each Wednesday, there's a reason for that. It's because he's taken care of so much of that work. If just to give you, some inside scoop on the lore of this show, he lives in the void when he edits. He is in there. It's extremely painful to come in and out of the void. So he really goes to a lot of effort to edit and produce the show. I think that if we go 0 for 3, which is bad because we have free picks of whatever teams we want, that Chris is the winner of picks of the week.
I agree
I think
with
that's
this.
what should happen.
I
Yeah,
accept.
Yeah. So Chris can get whatever stadium food he wants. Again, travel not included in this prize. So that's what's on the line. Not only is there a winner, the winner could be none of the 3 of us for the first time ever. So again,
I like these
unprecedented.
stakes.
I love that.
I should probably pick Georgia because they are the 1 seed.
That's
Pulling
boring,
up the
Aaron.
standings, they are 43-12 overall. They're 23-7. Like they're the 1 seed by a decent bit. Like they won this thing by 3 games.
It's boring.
But you're right. It is boring. It's also a single elimination tournament. They lost their very last game of the year. It only takes 1 loss. Alabama has a player with 37 stolen bases, a 906 OPS, 14 home runs, 9 doubles. Batting average not as good, but he's a power hitter. His name is Justin LeBron. He is Major League Baseball's number 5 draft prospect at MLB Pipeline on Twitter, saying that was as of May 8th. LeBron may not have won a championship with the Lakers this year, but LeBron's going to win a championship. He's going to win an SEC championship with the Alabama Crimson Tide, and I'm going to win a championship, winner of Season 5 Picks of the Week, because Justin LeBron is playing in this thing.
Yeah, Jordan never
he
won an
is-
SEC baseball championship.
Take that.
Correct. And LeBron would. He's a shortstop. He had a great 2025 season as well. Looks like he was a second team preseason All-American. He's about, and his best work still in front of him. He's going to do damage in Hoover, Alabama. So this tournament is in Alabama. So give me Justin LeBron.
Yeah.
And
We
that
all
is
got
picks
who
of
we
the week.
want,
So,
man.
yeah.
I love that.
So I've got Bama. Josh has Texas A&M. Johnny has Texas. Chris has the field. So, including,
Everybody-
which again,
Money is on
includes the
Chris.
number 1 seed in the tournament, the Georgia Bulldogs.
It's a good thing FanDuel's not putting odds on the 4 of us, because I think it would be
boy.
quite
Yeah.
poor.
I think so too. So, we will let you know. We are back in a couple weeks with season 6. You'll see some announcements on social media when we're back. I will also say between now and then, we are less than, we're like 3 weeks away from the World Cup, basically. So between now and then, we're not like disappearing into the void with Chris. Chris lives there by himself. We will be posting on producing videos and such, hopefully specifically about the World Cup. So we are currently working on that. So we're still around during the podcast break. So check us out on social media, Instagram at 5th and Goal Sports, at 5th and Goal Sports on TikTok, and the 5th and Goal Sports YouTube channel are great places to look for that. And now, here's the season finale of what we're following. What could possibly go wrong?
The guys spent hours scrolling social media, and they found some pretty dumb stuff. Now they want to talk to you about it.
Oh, by the way, I did
gosh.
find there is bowling in Dave & Buster's. Importantly, it's half off on Wednesdays as of 5 years ago.
That coupon still spends. Let's go.
Good luck. It's time for What We're Following.
Guys, I can start because I fear that what I'm following is not that exciting. I mean, it might be exciting to people that enjoy college football, but most people on May 18th aren't necessarily dialed into college football. I am, because I'm an absolute sicko. I was listening to a podcast that had Reese Davis on it, and he articulated a thought that I'm basically going to regurgitate and say it less eloquently than he did. We talk a lot on this show about how, and we have since the beginning, since really the inception of the college football playoff. Well, I guess we weren't quite podcasting then, but since the inception of people wanting to expand the college football playoff, we've been very consistent saying, hey, we hate this. And we've given our reasons. I think we have mostly been proven correct. And so a lot of time, effort, and strained vocal cords have, talked about this through the history of this show. And I don't regret any of that at all. I don't take any of it back. But I realize I think college football has a bigger issue than NIL, because the players should be paid, like point blank. Now, figure out how to do it well, of course. The transfer portal and the playoff. I think there's a bigger issue that is eating at the heart of college football more than those three, even though those three things take up 95% of the airways of college football. And I think we have undervalued the hurt that has happened to college football due to conference realignment. We say all the time, like, wow, Cal, you're in the Atlantic Coast Conference. That's dumb. And then we kind of leave it at that anymore. Like, right? Like Sacramento State's in the MAC now, and we just kind of shrug our shoulders and say, well, that doesn't make any sense, but that's where we're at. And I want to take a closer examination at that. Why? Because when we talk about conference realignment, a lot of times we talk about what's the most recent conference realignment, right? Like we're talking about the Pac-12 is a thing now, again, with Texas State in it of all teams. And we've talked about SMU being in the Atlantic Coast, but then, you just drive a few hours and now you're in Pacific Coast, but you're also still in the Big 12. Josh is at the epicenter of college football. But think about where this all started. I bring you back to like 2012, 2014 era. Because with all this conference realignment, with all the TV money, these teams that joined conferences, whether geography made sense or not, has it made them better? And unequivocally, the answer is no. What do I mean by that? Let's just talk about teams in the Big Ten real quick that moved to the Big Ten. And I don't necessarily mean yet the Oregons, USC's, Washington's, UCLA's just yet. I mean like Maryland. You have been in the Big Ten for now 12 years. And great. You can say to your fans, hey, everyone, we're Maryland. We make a lot of money. Great for the people that are the president of Maryland. You're not winning anything. Nebraska has been a dumpster fire since they left the Big 12. Like Nebraska had the best environment in the Big 12, arguably, and then left to a Big Ten conference that has several of those great college football environments, and then they kind of got left to the dust. You are interrupting rivalries. Like, I don't even need to mention the Oklahoma State, like the Oregon State, which some of these are still getting played, but you've messed with rivalries. Like, even look at the ACC. Like, when these teams moved from the Big East, Boston College, do you feel like you're in a better spot now that you moved? And I know that was a long time ago, but just go down the line. Like, and especially to these places where it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's kind of sad. Like Rutgers, you actually made some noise in the Big East once upon a time. And now you're making millions of dollars. Good for you, I guess. You're doing absolutely nothing on the football field. You're not good in basketball either. Not that these moves were made for basketball in the first place. Like, if you go down the line, especially in the big conferences, all these teams that have made moves within the last 20 years, how has it worked out for them? Missouri? How are you feeling? I mean, you're making money. Good. You could say Texas A&M has maybe benefited. That's a rare exception. But again, it's not crazy from a geography standpoint that they moved to the SEC. Same thing with TCU, right? Like they made the move from the Mountain West to the Big 12, and that's mostly worked out for them. But you're not, I don't know. So I really dove into this. I thought of the rivalries that have been interrupted, Missouri, Kansas. I'll just say that as an example, even though they finally played this year. I think that we have glossed over how damaging conference realignment has been over the last 15 years because it's been gradual to the heart of college football. Like, the regionality is something, Johnny, you mention all the time, and you're absolutely correct. And so I was just thinking about that this week. Like, man, we have done a lot of damage over 15 years trying to just create these super conferences, chasing after TV money, when the heart and the beauty and the pageantry of college football was just 10-team, 12-team conferences that were located in the same area that had organic, unbelievable rivalries. And we just said, you know what? Forget it. None of this matters, even though that is the heart of college football. So I was listening to stuff about that. I was thinking about that, like, man, I think conference realignment may be my new number one enemy, even over a 2014 playoff. Now, I can't go that far. That's still stupid. But it's 1A, 1B. That's where I'm at. That's where I've aligned. I have a new hatred in my heart for conference realignment.
I don't. Johnny, hold on. I got to see what yours.
I'll end happy.
We're gonna let you. Yeah, please end. Please. Yeah,
you guys are Debbie Downers.
Hey,
my team lost, Johnny. Give me a break.
And I was in a place that was cloudy the whole time.
Yeah,
never got
choice,
above
though.
58 degrees.
Now that I would kill for right now, because it was 83 today,
lovely.
and I walked outside and I wanted to die.
For walking around weather,
Oh,
great. That's
perfect.
great walking weather.
It's great walking weather.
Okay, we're gonna save your optimism. FIFA coming to the United States.
Oh boy.
Has affected a lot of cities. There have been in a lot of the major cities, I would say other than LA, because LA does this type of international stuff, feels like every few years, whether it be something with Olympics, whether it be, they handle NFL, a Super Bowl, they handle college. They can handle large international events okay. New York, same thing. There's been some discussion about the price gouging that's happening with some of the public transit. There was some frustration there. I had thought that Dallas was the normal issues with Dallas were just going to be the same. We're going to have an influx of people. They don't know how to drive in Dallas. The U.S., much less Dallas, because there's no public transportation infrastructure that can get you to AT&T.
It's also illegal to walk, apparently, to the games in New York.
Yeah, well, you do have to cross the 6-lane highway.
Pedestrians have the right of way. I don't understand
Yes,
this.
they
I don't
do.
get. So
Sir, you're
they can't stop all
Don't
of
do that.
you. But yeah, actually,
Right.
please don't, because it's also Jersey drivers, and I hate stereotyping, but every Jersey driver I know is real aggressive and will not yield. I have a friend.
Which I get it. You're
Yes.
stuck in traffic for 5 hours if you do anything
I
different.
get it. Listen, but here at the same time, I also remember friends that we all had. I won't say his name. Lovely man, truly like one of the nicest guys you'll meet. From Jersey driver. He wanted to test out. He wanted to show off the new brakes he put on his car.
Yeah.
And so he drove from in a parking lot, like full speed into the side of a building, and he was going to brake and like show how good the brakes were and not hit it, but he was on gravel, so I
I forgot about that. That unlocked a memory. Thank you.
Like, here's the thing, Europeans, Jersey drivers will run purposefully into brick walls. You have much less rigidity than a brick wall. I'll put it that way. In all of this, I thought, okay, Dallas is going to have the standard Dallas things. It's going to be hard to get there. It's not going to be a lot of parking, and it's going to be expensive to get there, expensive to be there, like the standards. But that was going to be like, okay, we'll just get, we're hosting the semis, we're hosting a few quarterfinals, some group stages, whatever. I tend to not complain about when people come into the city because also a transplant, so I can't really yell, I got here 6 years earlier, get out. Doesn't really sell.
No, Josh, you pull that ladder up from behind you.
That's yes. Except Dallas did get a little bit of a hit this past week. For those of you who don't know, there is an artist known as Wyland. Wyland has a series of murals he has done, primarily in landlocked cities, although he has about 100 of them. So, I think Cleveland has one.
Cleveland's not landlocked.
No, but he's thinking,
I know.
but like major metro areas.
Sorry, I have to defend Ohio.
Yes. They're not landlocked. Yeah, also, thank you for reminding me. Ohio's not landlocked.
It's not.
We can get to the ocean.
Yes, we can.
It takes a little longer. We
have to go up Niagara Falls, but we can do it if you try hard enough.
It's not impossible. Legally not. Now, you can get a ship from the ocean into Lake Erie.
Yes, you can.
So, not landlocked.
Not to sidetrack us, but at what point do you know for sure you're in the ocean? Like, is there a sign that, like, welcome to Pennsylvania, or, welcome to Indiana?
When you're not getting hallucinations from drinking the water that you're sailing through. I mean, when you are getting hallucinations, that's when you know you're in the ocean.
Yeah, but I'm not drinking Lake Erie. Like, you just...
Nope, you have to, Aaron. That's the only way to tell.
That's the only way.
You have to, every few hours, you just got to take a bucket of water out.
What you do is you grab gallons, like you fill a tub with Lake Erie water, and that's your control. And every 2 hours, you take a little sample, and you have to sip, get a take, clear your palate, sip the water is Lake Erie water. Yeah. Sip, okay?
Now, you could get different hallucinations from Lake Erie, but, you're not dehydrated.
Question, how does one cleanse your palate from water to water?
I don't know.
Like, what do you use to cleanse your palate?
Lake Superior water.
Okay. All right, sorry, Josh.
So you have a separate cooler, and it's holding a lot of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ooh.
Something that gets you thirsty.
Oh, yeah.
Something that makes you want water. Yeah. So whatever flavor you want, that's up to you.
Okay.
Okay, so Wyland has done a lot of murals. He primarily picks large metro areas. Like specifically, he does this because he wants. Sorry, they are. It's so crazy. I'm trying to get everything in order. Dallas downtown has a mural painted by Wyland. It's an ocean scene of orcas, and it's very pretty. It's in a metro area because it's like, hey, he wants to kind of give a commentary on how urban life and like development can affect the local ecosystems. And it's like, hey, I'm going to put whales where we don't normally see whales, and kind of, juxtaposition, artsy, cool. Don't have to like it, but he did it on purpose. Did 100 of these. On like Thursday, everyone wakes up to the notification of, hey, they're painting it over. This has been in Dallas for like 30 years.
They meaning the government?
So, yeah, they meaning Dallas, but Dallas council voted last week to have this mural painted over so that FIFA could put a banner.
Oh,
So that FIFA could hang a temporary banner.
Why couldn't you just hang the banner over the mural?
What a question. I've been digging through all the comments. I've been trying to figure out why.
I mean,
One of the
maybe I'm
thoughts
stupid.
is-
I don't know.
No, I think I'm stupid too, because I can't figure out why you can't just hang something real quick.
I thought they were going to paint it something at least.
No, it's a blank canvas now. Now they
Oh.
might, depending on there's thoughts that the right now, FIFA's official statement is we look forward to unveiling a new piece that captures the current historical moment and reflects the energy, unity, and global spirit surrounding the World Cup 2026 this summer.
Is it going
It's
to be
not
as
done
good
yet.
as the Jelly Roll song for the World Cup?
I think it is. I believe it is.
Yeah.
So, regardless of, so the thought is Dallas thinks that it has ownership of that building, or at least has the right to approve the building wanting to change the mural. Except that's not how the law works. There's a federal law.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh.
It's called the Visual Arts Rights Act. VARA.
Art
however you wanna
has
call it.
rights.
Weiland gifted what's known as Ocean Life to Dallas. So it is, up until this point, still his intellectual property.
Oh.
He is working right now. Quote, they picked the wrong artist. I can tell you that. I am going to go after them and go
Oh.
after them hard.
Yeah.
Get him.
Get him
I'm
wild.
going to ask the community of Dallas to stay with me. We are going to protect the other arts in Dallas. So one, he looks like he might be doing other installments
Dude.
in the DFW area.
Everyone's
But
going to back
two-
him up, though. I feel like, at least.
Two, here's the thing. He's looking, I think he's hoping to not settle.
If he gets the right
'Cause right
lawyer,
now-
he's going to win.
Right now, he wants 15 mil to settle.
It's not even a bad amount.
That's like
really.
the price of one FIFA
Yeah,
ticket.
FIFA can
That's-
easily afford it. They should pay it if they're not idiots.
Yeah. He said what it would do is he would go directly, he's like, I wouldn't take the money. I would just immediately put it back into the Dallas community, school art programs, blah, blah, blah. However, this is not great, period. So a weird way to end with my chess heads, because I wouldn't necessarily
ending.
consider art
Save the
a
whales.
sport, but in the spirit of save the crew, we are going to save the whales. And now, unfortunately,
Save
the
the
mural's
whales.
gone. The mural's objectively gone.
Mm.
You can't
Reintroduce the whales.
reintroduce the whales. Weiland, here's also the thing, because you asked Johnny, like, how did the government did this? Or no, that was Aaron. He and his estate, because he is a manager of this stuff, both of them have admitted or have claimed FIFA, Dallas, nobody talked to us about this.
Makes it worse.
They've talked to
Helps
us
the
after
lawsuit.
the fact. I have, Dallas Daily News. I have Robert Wilansky, who's been doing some digging, and he can't find the timeline
Awesome.
to match up with what FIFA has been claiming.
Take FIFA to the
So-
cleaners. Ask for 150 mil. 15 mil is
No.
not enough.
He thinks he's estimating the mural's worth at about 15 mil.
Right.
So he can
But
go up.
emotional damages plus
You can talk
Yes,
about emotional damage, cultural
exactly.
damages. You can talk about I would say this
I was
is,
psychologically damaged. Make it a
psychological
class
damage.
action.
I was.
ecological.
Can we join?
Also, I mean,
Ecological damage.
the point of
This is just as bad
this
as an
Ocean Life
oil spill.
series.
Okay, maybe too far.
It's different. Well, here's the thing. It's different. This is also just one of the, it's a darkly ironic thing that FIFA or Dallas and definitely both
Yep.
have done, because it's not the same animals on every single mural. Similar, because it's Ocean Life, Wailing Walls.
Is there one with puffins? Because I'm all
I
about
hope
saving the
so.
puffins. We got to save those puffins. I got to see the puffins.
Yeah. The idea that it is, in fact, like this. Hey, let's think about the effects metropolitan areas have on ecosystems downstream. And for FIFA and Dallas just to go, cool, let's paint it. And then most likely, I don't know.
It's going to take a while, but he'll win.
He's going to win. He's going to win. Something happened.
That stuff never happens quick, but he'll win.
No, I'm tempted. I don't have time today, but I am going to go down. I know where this is. I'm going to go down later this week.
I'll go protest.
And I'm going to look and I'll give you guys firsthand knowledge of what's going on down there.
Yes.
Love it.
Reporting. Love it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Very good.
I was going to go to FIFA, but since it's, again, $15 million, I'll at least go protest the mural.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the side of the mural.
I agree. Very good. Well, we should also save the puffins.
Aaron's disappointed. Josh is ready to fight the city of Dallas.
I'll go fight the city of Dallas with you, Josh. I'm with you.
Please do. After you tell us how good the fish and chips were.
Oh, the fish and chips were excellent. It was very, very good. Very good fish and chips. I got to see the puffins again. Second time I've gotten to see puffins. That was pretty great. On Skomer off Wales. Also, Wales underrated. Like, I think Wales is not just a sea animal that we need to save. It's also a country in the British Isles. It was an outstanding city, minus the driving with the hedgerows, as I mentioned before. I learned a little Welsh. That was fun. It's so difficult to speak. It's like trying to learn the Icelandic language up there. Crazy. It is a beautiful place. As I said, never got even up to 60 degrees, perfect walking weather. But you know what, guys? It barely even rained. The only day that it basically rained the whole day was when we were on Loch Ness searching for Nessie. And that just seemed appropriate, really, that it was raining on that day. And we saw Nessie. And yeah, it was a great trip. I got to nerd out in Oxford. Bookshops everywhere. Tower of London's super cool. Lots of beheadings there. They even showed us the beheading block that they basically have the spot right there.
Okay.
It's pretty legit. Pretty awesome. They were literally selling broadswords. You don't know how tempted I am. If you know me, you know that I brought a spear back from Africa. That was a whole TSA thing. So that was very tempting, but that wasn't going to fit in my luggage. That's for sure. Also, I don't have 5,000 quid. So yeah. And this morning, I was just happy that I drove to work on the proper side of the road. After driving 1,200 miles,
yeah,
I was very happy that I made it to work safely and on the correct side of the road. Now, I will admit, when I got in the car and I first got out of London and was on the interstate, their version of the interstate, I definitely was in the right lane, as in directionally, thinking slow lane, just subconsciously. No, it's all backwards. Everything's backwards. But I will say this, and this is my main takeaway from the trip. Well, I don't know about main. One of my main takeaways from the trip about the British. One, I don't understand the lack of seasoning unless I'm getting Indian food there. That's just kind of strange. But they're very conscientious and helpful. They may appear very judgmental. They're not as outwardly friendly, maybe, or fake friendly as Americans are. But I had two cars kind of swerve in front of me and literally just try to point me in the right direction, to get me over in the lane. And I swear in America, I think I would have just had everybody riding my tail, blasting the horn, getting angry. And instead, all it took was a couple minutes and I was corrected very quickly and getting out of everybody's way. And that's just one example. They're very nice. I love trains. I got to be on trains and underground trains the whole time. The tube was great. I love that. And beans on toast is literally just baked beans. It's actually just baked beans, by the way, everybody.
No, I've been told it's so much better.
No, it's literally just baked beans. Breakfast, apparently, if you think most breakfast foods actually were just the leftovers from dinner. So the origin of baked beans basically is that they always had beans and the beans were left over from dinner the night before. But I'm like, but you don't have to hold on to that. And it's very strange when they're giving you baked beans with your Canadian bacon, because it's not real bacon, sausage, eggs, toast, and then here's your baked beans. It's very strange. But
any
lovely
black
time.
sausage? Any blood sausage?
Oh, absolutely. The sausages were great. Very good. Yes.
Johnny, when you were in Wales, did you hear this? Did you see a sign for this town?
Just up the road from Llanfair Pwllgwyn, gallwch go gerach Windrobwll, Llantysilio go go goch. The temperature got to 21 Celsius. That's 70 in Fahrenheit.
Probably. Because, I mean, I still can't say the name of, it's like right in the center of the Welsh coast. Like some of them are very like anglicized, like Pembrokeshire is obviously very easy to say, or like Conwy is Conway in like English. And I'm like, honestly, the Celtic way of saying things is a lot fancier and more fun. But yeah, I learned a few phrases, but I mean, it's like Aberystwyth or whatever, but I know I'm butchering that. So I'm sorry to all of my Welsh friends out there. I still can't pronounce because there are far too many consonants and not enough vowels for me to figure it out. And there's a Y in every syllable, and I don't know what to do with that. So I apologize, but Wales, a lovely country that everybody should visit and not skip. I had a lot of people telling me just go to Scotland, and easily a top 5 country flag with their red dragon on it. Pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, Johnny, how many people did you have to tell that the war was over? They don't have to live on beans anymore.
Yeah, Battle of Britain's over. You know, like
They've won.
They don't have to. You know, when you literally go from England to Wales, and I'm thinking, I bet the breakfast is different. No, like a full English breakfast and a full Welsh breakfast, pretty much the same. Yeah, the pies are all different though. And by pie, I mean by pie, remember what I mean. Now, we're not talking like apple pie or anything like that.
With a filling.
Well, no, it's like it's your meal. It's more like a chicken pot pie type of thing, but way better because they actually know how to make the crust properly, and it's not, and it's fresh. You know, it's not
Homemade
preservatives and stuff.
Ah, yeah, like Hot Pockets.
Yeah, and sometimes, depending on where you are, sometimes it's really thick. And so I'm just blowing right through that. And sometimes it's a really like thick crust, and sometimes it's flaky like a pastry, and you can make all different kinds. Yeah, like the
garlic herb one.
Yes, you're right, Josh.
The garlic herb pepperoni pizza.
My body definitely digested all of it the exact same. That's why over there I never felt bad after a meal, and over here I constantly do. So trains and fix our food. Anyway, this is positive. Britain is a lovely place, and you guys should all visit, and you should go in the off season because there were still tourists, but going in May, not so bad. So
that's a good thought.
Very lovely.
2 things. One, I'm glad that I got to play that Wales soundbite because I've had that on the soundboard since we started this.
Which
I
is
finally
crazy.
got to play it like in the context of an actual conversation.
Crazy.
So that's unbelievable.
Thank you, Johnny, for going just for the soundbite.
Yeah, it was just for that.
Yeah, thank you for going just for the bit. And 2, I really failed. We have the bumper of Oh Grimacy, and I did not use it today, and I don't know what I was thinking.
I didn't go to Ireland.
Well, I know, but you were closer than you are now. So anyways.
You sounded so in fact. Now, I did not go to Ireland.
They don't like that. The Scottish and Irish don't like that. Don't tell them. Tell them they have a lot in common, because they do. Yeah. It's very similar. There's a lot of translation there, but you don't say that to them.
Good week for England. Not only was Johnny there, first Englishman to win the PGA Championship in over 100 years. So congratulations, folks. Thanks for being with us for another season. This has been a blast. We, as always, appreciate your support. I mentioned it earlier, but don't forget, follow us on social media if you are not already. Also, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, check to make sure you're subscribed, or if you're listening on podcast, check to make sure you're subscribed over there. It doesn't cost you anything. It just makes sure that you see more of us, which I'm assuming you want, but that may be a bold assumption. But for real, thank you for your support of this show. It means a lot, as always. We will see you all in a couple weeks. June 3rd, the podcast returns for season 6. Who will win picks of the week? I guess check out the SEC tournament for that. For myself, For Josh, for Johnny, for producer Chris in the void. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time. Have a good one.